All right, welcome. I'm Aeson and, of course, I'm sitting down with Techie with the Most. This is Techie Joe. How are you, darling?
I'm doing well. How are you this evening?
Pretty good, pretty good. All right. Ugh. So we got some interesting news to cover. We've got a Dear Abby that sounds like a how much kind of an asshole can you be?
Well, it fits, I think, can work very well as an am I the ass?
Right.
Like,
we also have two lists of questions to look at.
Mm-hmm.
One is a dating coach advice, gay relationships, the ultimate guide. This is what they're putting out there. I thought we would play with that one.
Ooh, fun.
And then there is the We're Not Really Strangers relationship expansion pack flip cards.
Oh, fun.
Okay. So that's what I have in the exciting bag of I don't give a hell what we do tonight.
You know, sometimes you just gotta have a fun show.
Right.
It's what it is. But so Heritage Foundation exec threatens gay furry hackers in unhinged text. A newly released log of messages shows a director at the think tank spewing insults after a data breach. So self-described gay furry hackers on my birthday, July 2nd, breached archival data from a site that was operated by the Heritage Foundation until recently, and on Tuesday released 2 gigabytes of internal data originally collected by the conservative think tank. Now an executive director at the influential organization is so hopping mad that he might as well invest in a kangaroo costume. Rolling Stone, thank you for that sentence. I love it. The hacktivist collective, Sieged Sec, has been engaged in a campaign called Op Trans Rights, in which it targets government websites with the aim of disrupting efforts to enact or enforce anti-trans and anti-abortion laws. Heritage Foundation was selected due to its Project 2025 plans, seen as a blueprint for Donald Trump to reshape the U.S. With sweeping far-right reforms should he win another term as president, Siege Sec told Cyberscoop on Tuesday. Group member VO informed the outlet that they aim to provide transparency to the public regarding who exactly is supporting Heritage, and that the leaked data included full names, email addresses, passwords, and usernames of individuals linked to the nonprofit. This material, as the Daily Dot reported, and as the Heritage Foundation now confirms, came from the Daily Signal, Heritage's media and commentary site, which lists one Mike Howell as an investigative columnist. The former Trump administration official in the Department of Homeland Security is also the executive director of Heritage's Oversight Project, an initiative focused on border security, elections, and countering the influence of the Communist Party of China. It was Howell who contacted SiegeSec in the wake of the breach to get answers about their motivations, and as he continued to message VO, his text grew more unhinged and threatening. After declining to talk with Howell by phone, VO described what it was that they and their hacker furry comrades sought to accomplish. We want to make a message and shine light on who exactly supports the Heritage Foundation, they wrote. We don't want anything more than that, not money and not fame. We're strongly against Project 2025 and everything the Heritage Foundation stands for. Howell seemed stunned by the explanation. That's why you hacked us, he replied, just for that. Once the full chat log was released by SIGSEC, Hal confirmed to the Daily Dot that it was genuine and that the conversation had taken place on Wednesday. So from there, Hal's tone shifted. We are in the process of identifying and outing members of your group, he wrote. Reputations and lives will be destroyed. Closeted furries will be presented to the world for the degenerate perverts they are. As VO expressed skepticism that anyone in SIGSEC would be identified and continued to criticize the heritage agenda as harmful to human rights, Hal invoked biblical authority and seethed that the hackers had turned against nature. Quote, God, it gets worse.
I know.
Yeah, it devolves quickly. So yeah, that first one was probably as bad as I want to go. Though I will say I will read this next one. He went on to liken furry culture to bestiality, which he called a sin, prompting Vio to ask him, what's your opinion on vor? Vorophilia, or vor, is a fetish typically expressed in erotic art of people or creatures eating one another. A Twitter user shared a screenshot of this exchange Wednesday afternoon, leading Hal to quote tweet the post with lyrics from rapper Eminem's 2000 single, The Way I Am. Okay. Hours later, Hal learned through the Daily Dot's reporting that Vio had decided to try to quit their life of cybercrime, and that the rest of the collective agreed it was time to let SIGSEC rest for good, in part to avoid FBI attention. Complete and total victory, Hal tweeted. I have forced the gay furry hackers to disband.
Yeah, right.
But it remains to be seen whether these hackers, who last year managed to breach NATO systems as well as a major U.S. nuclear lab that they demanded begin research on creating in real life cat girls, will truly disappear into the shadows like an empowering fursona. Hacking can be an identity that's hard to give up. Before he congratulates himself anymore, Hal might want to at least change his password. Oh, so there was an update on July 11th. After publication, the Heritage Foundation sent Rolling Stone a statement clarifying that the site was not operated by the think tank and disputing that they were hacked. The story has been updated to reflect this, and the full statement can be found below.
Yeah, you were hacked, babies. Not only that, babies, but I promise you, those furries ain't gone far. They just went to get a snack.
I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe the group itself is going to go off to other projects with other people, but I don't think it's over.
No.
That's kind of like a non. Like they're never really gone. Yeah, Anonymous is never really.
No.
Yeah. Not to be confused with QAnon, totally different organization.
Yes. One's actually done some good work. The other one's batshit crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, but it's so cute.
It is.
It's such a fucking funny story. I'm sorry, I have this visual image that's so adorable in my head of this pissed off furry in full on a laptop just angrily hacking away. And it's adorable in my brain.
Well, understandable that it's adorable in your brain, but at the same time, I'm just thinking of the one furry I know, and it's laughable. Watching, that he would go in there, hack out and I'm not releasing the name, but a wolf with a computer system that looks amazing. Just sitting there and just taking Heritage Foundation site apart.
I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible.
Yep.
But I do find it.
I find it so hilarious. I also find it so hilarious that, After this,
Mm-hmm.
a certain Oompa Loompa started distancing himself from this Project 25 faster than he did Stormy Daniels.
Yeah, it's just really hard for him to do that since he's really closely associated with a lot of the people
Mm-hmm.
that so trying to outright claim no knowledge
Mm-hmm.
was, I think, a first mistake on that.
Well, no, that since he spoke on it at their gala that they gave him checks for.
Mm-hmm.
Does he think we're stupid?
I
Other
mean,
than the Supreme Court.
technically, we've already seen that he'll pander to any crowd for money.
Right.
Like that's been his campaign.
Right.
So do I think he's read it, understands it, and perhaps even fully agrees with it? No. Do I think he'll gladly say that he does and proclaim whatever he has to pocket some donations? Absolutely. Right. So I like, do with that as you will. Right. I mean, it still doesn't make him an admirable presidential candidate or former president.
Right.
Like I'm trying to find an analogy somewhere in there, but I can't. That's appropriate for YouTube.
I think he just needs a lot of eggs. I really do. A lot of eggs.
But I mean, but yeah, so Project 2025 has been all over the news. If y'all haven't heard about that, I don't know what rock you've been under. But that is the Heritage Foundation's like secret plan. For basically in Trump's second term, like, I mean, long and short, will be kind enough to say accomplish a lot of extreme right-wing idealism of what the United States should look like. Other sources like go into detail and the potentialities. I don't know that they actually want everything in that as much as they say they want it.
Right.
I think at best it's an a la carte wet dream of the Heritage Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that all of it could actually pass muster to do anything.
Right.
Like I think you're going to stand some resistance on that. Right. But there are some very ugly ideas there. Right. Like, so we'll call it that. There's some ideas. They're really
right.
Objectionable.
Right.
So hey Shannon.
Hello, Shannon.
Yeah. So I don't think I want to dig into Project 2025. That is just such a long, confounding.
Well, like, I have a Project 2025. It's real simple. I want my garden done. I want my flower bed done. I want to get some other things done around here. And in Project 2025, we're going to be launching Aeson's Metaverse. Who knows? We might build an app. We're going to be growing the podcast reach. I mean, I've already got my Project 2025 listed out. I just can't figure out how Humpty Dumpty, who Huckleberry, even figured out how to write 2025.
Okay, but that sounds like, a combination of your, Book of Shadows and your gay agenda.
Oh, I have a full gay agenda.
I'm sorry. It's just that. Like it is a truly horrible plan. Honestly, it just kind of sounds like they expounded upon The Handmaid's Tale.
Right.
Basically.
I
mean, basically.
Right.
So if you've seen The Handmaid's Tale,
Right.
you also know this doesn't really work out for anyone.
Right.
Like, it literally works for no one.
Right.
Like, it's bad for everybody involved.
Right.
So, just have.
Yeah. So, we need to be watchful. We need to be, more than watchful. We need to be making sure to vote with a damn brain.
Please do. Please vote with the brain. Which, speaking of voting, there's also I was reading that a little earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
There's also like new legislation that basically Elon Musk has weighed in on, that basically anyone who stands against it should be executed.
Mm-hmm.
That basically reaffirms everything that is already illegal to do in an election.
Okay.
As in, you cannot vote in an election as an illegal immigrant. You have to be a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
I think it adds like to the penalties, but fundamentally the whole thing is about destabilizing
Uh-huh.
participants in elections.
Right.
It's very awkward. I think it's going to actually blow up in their face, and then it's going to be even worse than they thought.
Well, I think so too.
I mean, because basically the only people at this point that really have a lack of election confidence
Right.
are primarily conservatives.
Right.
And if you further stoke that, I think all you're going to end up doing is causing fewer conservatives to vote.
Right.
While, we like, if there's a potential this becomes very blue looking election,
Right.
at which point all you're going to do is turn around and say, see, we told you these numbers can't be right.
Right.
They can't be trusted.
Right.
And it's kind of like, well, but you shot yourself in your own foot and then you want to whine about it?
Right.
Like, it's kind of a mess.
Right.
It's
going to continue to be a mess.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
All right. So, here you need to vote. How to trigger Shannon quicker than all the bad talk about immigrants in the last 20 years. Exactly.
Yeah.
And this talk of immigrants for the last 20 years is nothing compared to the talk of the immigrants over the last 100 years.
Well, we really don't want to go back 200 years. That didn't work out well either.
Well, no, the last, since about 1910, 1911 is when they started this bullcrap about the, immigrants. At first it was the Italians, then it was the Chinese, then it was the Irish. And it's just like, really? You're going to get to this point?
Kind of forgetting that whole first wave of illegal immigration.
Yes. Colonization.
So, I mean, if you want to start there. But no, it's been.
Yeah.
Oh, I am sure people ask you asinine and stupid questions regarding your marriage to someone who immigrated. Yeah, I can believe.
Mm-hmm.
And the wild part was like there was a point in my life I didn't really think about immigration that much.
Mm-hmm.
I knew people immigrated to, the US, and like they live in our community and they're here. Awesome, great, cool. Like, whatever. And it literally took 9/11.
Yeah.
Before I actually, truthfully, honestly, I know it's the whitest white person whiting statement I can make. Before I actually V8 momented the how flippin' ugly can this get and how quickly can it go crazy?
Right.
To really, it's not that I didn't know that there were people that had problems with people who immigrate. Or anyone who, quote unquote, looks like they immigrated here or acts like they immigrated here.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, but I thought that was more pockety. Like, I really didn't recognize the severity and extent.
Right.
And then 9/11 happened, and it was the insanity that unfolded.
Right.
And I suddenly realized this is how insane this is. This actual hatred rebranded as patriotism,
Which is far from patriotism.
and it's the literal moment of looking around, going, ah.
Mm-hmm.
We effectively are all some generation of immigrant.
Right.
There's a very small population of people, unfortunately, left. Not unfortunate that they're left, as in, unfortunately, that's all the people who are left, because we've got to put that over. But, we're all immigrants. What part of the melting pot did you not understand?
Right.
How does someone who claims Italian pride or Irish pride or name your, whatever country you immigrated from pride, turn around and just have this American patriotism hatred?
Mm-hmm.
I never understood it. It was that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Right.
But it did. It was my wake up call that, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
We're not. No, this is not pockets of problems.
Right. Well, for me, it's always been a concern, an idea, a viewpoint of, but that comes with my family history.
Mm-hmm.
Irish travel from one side, Romney the other. We're getting kicked out one way or another.
Sadly, yes. Sadly, that historically is exactly what happened over and over
and over and over and over and over. Right. So, and what I love is when they go, so what country are you from?
All of them.
All of them. Pick one.
At somewhere in the family tree, yeah.
Yeah. Pick one. Go from 1886 when the slaves were freed in Romania. Come through Romania into France, from France into Great Britain, from Great Britain to New York, from New York down and up the eastern coast for 70 freaking years, and settling in West Virginia. The rest of the details you'll have to figure out in the book. But anyhow.
Oh, there you go. But no, it's none of it makes any sense. No. So Shannon points out nationalism is not patriotism. It is not. It is not. No. Those are totally different concepts. But it is, unfortunately, how it gets expressed.
Right.
Is in terms of patriotism, and it's no. That's no. Totally different thing. Totally different thing.
Right.
But yeah. Yeah, I can imagine you've had to explain that to far too many people.
Mm-hmm.
Far too many.
Right.
So. Oh, but no, that's where we're at with that one.
Well, yes. All right. So, which do you want to play, the flashcard game or choose the questions off of the Ultimate Gay Dating Guide?
All right. Ah,
Yeah,
Browse.
we decided we'd have some fun tonight.
There we go. All right, so I'm just waiting the page to decide to refresh on me. Oh, come on.
Yes. Can I just say that the neighbors are pains in the asses, and even the cat doesn't like the fireworks anymore?
I know, right? Oh. All right, let me close it and just try clicking back in.
Okay.
That'll make it happen. Because it came up fine the first time. There we go. I think it just added out. All right, so navigating gay relationship questions, the ultimate guide. So asking the right questions helps you build trust and intimacy and understand if the relationship is right for you. So yeah, knowing which questions will facilitate genuine conversations, identifying questions that can help you better understand your partner's perspective on life, love, and relationships, overcoming communication barriers that may arise due to unique challenges faced by gay couples, cultivating trust, vulnerability, and emotional intimacy in your relationship, not knowing the right questions to ask to truly understand your partner's thoughts and feelings, struggling to build a strong emotional connection with your partner, wondering if your questions are relevant or if they might offend your partner. All right, we're going to take a second here because I'm getting mad. And we're just going to print this because I keep getting crash notices.
Okay.
As it keeps asking me to wait or close it. And so, yeah. All right. So, all right, it's not going to do that either. So, questions to ask in a gay relationship. How do you identify within the LGBTQ plus community, and what does that identity mean to you?
Let's see. How do I identify an old bitch? Meaning I've seen it all. All right, so I'll choose the next one.
Oh, okay. Oh, Shannon wants to know, did you get a haircut?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. They don't have any fun ones here, but we'll choose. We'll go over to the other side and choose one. Who do you think was more nervous on our first date? Explain.
I think you. I think it was because like I was kind of I don't know, I'm not nervous on first dates. I have more like I have more nervousness on dates as like time goes on.
Okay.
Like I'm totally like I hate to say it this way and it's not quite what I mean. I quote unquote don't care about a first date. And the reason I say that is I'm uninvested. I'm not invested in a first date. If a first date goes well, that's great. If a first date goes horribly, oh well, learn some things. We won't do that again. If it works out somewhere in the middle, it works out somewhere in the middle. Where I start to have problems is like, okay, the first date went well. All right, the second date, how's it gonna go? Okay, the second date went well. How's the third date gonna go? And it just sort of sometimes becomes the like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like the more dates there are. Okay. So it's like first date goes horribly, everything's a disaster. Like I meet a serial killer. I'm okay with that.
Right.
Figure
Well,
that out somewhere around date 15 is more like, what did I do? How did I cause this? Why me?
mhm.
Like, that's where, like, I am. Like, so I don't think I'm nervous on first dates, but I think so that's why I'm saying I don't think either of us really were, but
I
I think,
figured you would be
okay.
because I picked you up. You had your eyes dilated, and we went on a hike.
Also, can I point out from what he just said, like, I will blinded get into a car with a literal stranger and let him have total control, knowing I can't get away.
Exactly.
So, this is what I'm saying. Like, I have no problem. Like, what's the worst that happens? I end up dead in a ditch? Meh.
Yeah. Okay. So your turn.
Alrighty. So we're just anywhere down the list.
That list or the other site I sent you.
Oh, okay. Let's go to the other side because this one's trying so hard to like crash everything.
Right.
All right. So,
But no, yes, I did get a new haircut. Yes, my sides are shaved.
yes, and I did let him lead that I did let that stranger lead me into the woods. Yes, I did.
Uh-huh.
Like, we went for a hike.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't have my vision back till the end, and we were in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Like, la 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 la. Oh, let's see. Ooh, this is a dangerous one. What has this relationship taught you about yourself?
Ooh, that I can be a lot more patient than people think.
I'm going to need you to explain that one.
Okay. Everyone knows Joe's MO on telling us things. He will tell you the headline.
Okay.
Like, let's go to North Carolina and visit friends.
Okay, in my defense, I didn't really think too much about the additional information I was given.
Uh-huh.
Also, there were things there.
Uh-huh.
That was the bear napping, if I remember correctly.
That was the bear napping, but additionally, you have to be patient. You have to let things kind of roll out with you. Like, if I present a full fucking 4-panel plan with slides and goals and expectations, it overloads him. If I drop it piece by piece by piece, he's quite fine with it. You have to be patient.
Okay. All right, so I guess you're up next.
I'm up next. Let's see. What assumption did you make about me that turned out to be false?
I think the biggest one that I had that got pretty quickly disproven, and like incredibly so. And I have to point out before I say it, this actually applies a lot to your entire professional field.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are not an exception to the rule. You are the rule.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have a habit of being able to, like, read the cards, tell you what the cards mean, read the astrology reports, create the astrological charts, do all of it. and then be sitting over there and going, I don't know what the hell his motherfucking problem is. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. While I can sit here and like, y'all will all do it. All of you. Like, you send me stuff to post to the website, and I know Wednesday's going to be a bad day. Why? Because you sent me a thing that says Wednesday is going to have a lot of communication issues. And then Wednesday, you'll be like, I don't know what the hell everyone's problem is. Everyone's been an argumentative bitch today.
Uh-huh.
And all of you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, there are whole people that are not in this industry that will not make a decision about lunch meat without checking their horoscope, checking the astrological alignment of the planets. They will not book a meeting, schedule a fucking oil change. They will do nothing.
Uh-huh. And that's when it's going, of course, of the moon, which is what I normally pay attention to for a lot of things.
Okay.
But you got to remember, the original whole industry in America today started out by drug dealers. We learned a long time ago, we don't eat our own dog food. It's not good for us.
Yeah, I know. Like, y'all won't do it. Like, none of you will do it. And it cracks me up every time. But I thought, okay, great. I'm going to have an entire flipping relationship totally built on like the astrological alignment of the planets and whether this is the right astrological moment to go buy, fucking salmon. Is what I expected. And I was like, okay, I was prepped for that. I was ready for that. I expected that.
Mm-hmm.
I, at no point, expected it to be these moments where it was like, the hell are you trying to do? Are you trying to kill us? Are you trying to kill us? Like, the horoscope says, don't do that. Nah. Get in the car.
Get in the car. I gotta go buy a car. It's Mercury in retrograde. It's time to buy a vehicle.
Yes. So Brenda says, Joe, we like arguing with our cards. LOL. We think that you everyone else, not us. That's what I've noticed. Like on the professional side, y'all are like, that's for everyone else, not for me. I can do things.
Well, now I have started pulling my card of the day again, but anyhow.
I'm just saying, it was the part that like I totally and it's also the thing that I think movies often get the most wrong now.
Yes.
Is like when they have the metaphysical, esoteric, woo-woo girl or guy. Mm-hmm. Like the only show that I think got it right, and this is kind of funny. Oh God, what is it? Shannon Doherty. Recent. Very recent. Oh, the haunted house one. Or is it Courtney Cox? Courtney Cox. Oh, what is that? It is Courtney Cox. Shining Veil. Shining Veil got that right, but that's only like one, I think, 2 scenes. Yeah.
Okay.
But they actually got it more right. Like the character that Courtney Cox plays was more into it than the guy in the metaphysical store that she visited, who was like, that's fucking bullshit. Mm-hmm. Like, nah, you're probably fine. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, oh my God. Like, I could totally see you in that role.
Yeah.
Everyone I know in the field, every single one of you would be exactly that person sitting right there like, you're probably fine.
You're probably fine.
Meanwhile, she's like been demonically possessed. Potentially. Brenda, I love her comment. We are looking at I went to click it. There we go. We are looking at the cards going, oh, hell no, you did not say that to me.
Uh-huh. Right. But at the same time, we're using metaphysics to overcome certain things because you've seen me do this.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen me go, oh, today's going to suck, isn't it? Doop-de-doop-de-doop-de-doop-de-doop. We'll fix that shit.
There you go.
Yep. All right. My turn?
No,
Yeah.
I think that was my question, wasn't it?
Oh, that was, yeah, it's your turn.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, well, no, I know the answer to that one, and it's not as entertaining. Oh, well, no, I still know the answer to that one. Okay, what recent experience made you feel closer to me?
Online shopping and debating metaphysical theories of metal.
And I didn't even donut glaze.
I know, it was very impressive. Granted, I was using Chinese ancient medicine, but again.
Still. Like, I can hold my own.
You can. You do know the word mandala very well.
I know. It was your first moment that you thought our relationship could work.
Yes.
Alrighty, your turn.
Here's a fun one for you. What would a day of completely spoiling me look like?
Have I won the lottery, or I have to work within our current budget?
You have to work within our current budget.
Okay. 'Cause that's wildly different. Now I have to also make it error appropriate.
Yes.
So probably coffee in bed.
Mm-hmm.
Then we take you, like, you get a shower and get all cleaned up. And then we would take you for hair and nails. And then there would definitely be Chinese for lunch, like, but really good, expensive Chinese, like really nice Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Then a trip to Starbucks. Then there we would have to go to a really big mall. And just all the shopping. Like, not necessarily buying, but lots of shopping. Like, it would have to, like, hit all your happy shopping places.
Right. Which most of them you won't find in a mall.
Well, but I think there's others in a mall that you enjoy.
Right.
You enjoy malls. Then you would probably want
the 80s.
Do what now?
I'm a kid of the 80s.
I know. Then you would probably want something tattooed or pierced.
Okay.
Then I think a massage. I may have the order backwards. I don't know which order to put that. I don't know what's safer. Is it safe to have a massage after a tattoo or piercing?
Flip them.
Okay. So, yeah, do the massage, then tattoo and piercing. Then I think another trip to Starbucks, because you'll want more Starbucks. Mm-hmm. And then I think we try to go out to dinner. Mm-hmm. Probably like a really nice steak and salad.
Mm-hmm.
Then you come home and take like the longest nap ever. Like just the total like shutdown nap. Mm-hmm. I think that would be your spoiling day.
You had all but one.
What the hell?
Short nap and then to the bar for a show.
Into the what? To the what?
Then to the bar for a show.
Oh, then to the bar for a show. I mean, okay, I could see it. I could see it. Yeah, should have probably involved a bar and a show.
Yeah.
Gotcha there.
Yeah. Okay. But other than that, you're doing really good.
Okay. I thought it sounded like a great day for you.
Yes.
And it's a full day. That was already like I was budgeting like 18 hours.
Yeah. Closer to 25, 26, but all right.
Okay.
We're going to the bar.
Your bar just pushed us over 24 hours.
My days are 36.
That's fair. Okay.
All right.
All right. So it's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, this could be fun.
Okay.
Or scary. I'm not sure which.
Okay.
What don't I give myself enough credit for?
Your intelligence.
Okay. Okay. All right, your turn. Can't find one yet?
No, I'm trying to behave.
Oh, okay. Well,
I had to sign in. What is the hardest thing for me to reveal about myself to you?
I'm trying to be careful. Let's go with the impact that past relationships have had on you.
Okay.
Like the extent of that.
Okay.
I think that's a fair.
Yep. Your turn.
Okay. Oh, what's the best gift I've given you? Material and immaterial.
Material best gift you've given me would be my necklace. Immaterial, your undivided attention. That means no cell phones, no Googling, none of that.
Okay.
Okay, so for you, what's the most romantic thing I've done for you recently?
Oh, that's definitely the roses.
Uh-huh.
Well, the rose, singular.
Singular, yes.
Yeah. You bought two, but there were two relationships.
Multiple partners.
Yeah.
Highlighted that day, yes.
But yeah. No, that was the all right. We doing one more?
Yeah, let's do 2 more each, and then we'll go into your selection for God, you're an asshole.
So 2 more. All right.
Yep.
Ooh, counter question. What have I helped you appreciate about yourself?
My uniqueness.
Your uniqueness?
Yes. Because it took you a very long time to realize I have a very large spectrum of emotions. And apparently that's very unique.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty.
What did our worst argument teach you about you?
Okay, do we count the breakup in that?
No, but we count the day of grace in that.
The day of grace?
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about the tree?
No.
No. Sorry, I think it's the first time you've referred to something as that, and I just can't make the connection. Oh, yeah. All right, so we're going to call that the worst day? Or the worst argument?
No. You can decide what you think is the worst argument. You were going back, and I was going, we're only going back this far.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, that had to have been after that. So, okay. But do I want to count that as the worst part? Like, there's a lot of different ways to count
you don't have to. You don't have to define the argument.
Okay. Then actually I can boil it down to, because it's kind of a common theme.
Mm-hmm.
I think that most of them ended up teaching me that I was too trusting of others.
Okay.
And that applies to multiples.
Yeah.
Because that tends to...
Right. Because most of our arguments have nothing to do with the relationship.
Pretty much.
It has to do with people externally to the relationship.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right. So that
for as bad as that day was, he practically... I don't know about full sainthood, but I mean, you could mark a couple of miracles off the canonizations. I'm just saying.
there were a few.
All right.
All right. So that was me. You get one more, and I get one more.
All right. Hello, Leanne. I'm having trouble because some of these I already know the answer to.
All right.
Yeah, I know the answer. All right, I will ask this one. So, what goal would feel best for you to accomplish this year?
What goal would be best to accomplish this year? Relationship-wise, business-wise, or health-wise?
Okay, well, the question doesn't actually state. So I think just pick one, like whatever the biggest one is. Like, what is the one thing? Like, if you did nothing else for the rest of the year, if you accomplished one thing.
I'm going to be selfish and say hit the 208 mark.
Okay. Okay.
All right. There were so many other things we can't do on there.
Leanne actually joined us in answering the question to provide financially for my family.
That's a great goal, Leanne.
That's a great goal.
All right, here's my last one for you. How does our strengths and weaknesses complement each other?
I think in most ways, like, your strengths are my weaknesses and your weaknesses are my strengths.
Okay.
So we end up tag teaming a lot of things.
Right.
Or having like different point of view perspective conversations.
Okay.
I think that's how they work together.
Cool. Like, I'm short-tempered, you're low burn.
Oh yeah, but but basically it's your short fuse, I'm long fuse. Like, it takes a lot. Like, you have a lot of opportunities to extinguish the fuse before I blow up. Now, you lose your temper and it's kind of quick, fast. It's a fireworks show.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like 5 minutes and like boom. But you'll hold a grudge. I don't hold grudges. I'm over it.
Right.
But it's a full nuclear explosion when I lose it.
Right.
Like, there is no, like, it's not a cute fireworks show. It's just run.
Right.
Like, which is just always interesting because people don't think like, they're just so nice. Yes, he is. Till you tick me off.
Mm-hmm.
And you've had ample opportunity because I will give you enough rope to hang yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but when I lose it, it's over.
Right.
You're done.
Right. So, and then with me, piss me off. You're gonna know it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna go on like a little bunny foo-foo as I sit back and wait for karma to pick up your ass and kick it for me 5 years later.
Well, and it will always be there for you.
Right.
Like, it lives like rent-free in your brain that this occurred. Like, that's the grudgy part. For me, I don't have a grudge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm done. Once I lose it and I've said what I need to say, I'm done. Like, I do not, like, I am zero care, like, no fucks given.
Right.
Like, what happens to you?
Right. And he freezes. Giving up on them. But no, like, 2 years later, 3 years later, people come like, why don't you mess with this person anymore? And I'm like, A, B, C, D, F them.
Well, yeah. Meanwhile, I'm just like, yeah, that didn't go well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's it. That's literally what I will say. Like, there's only one person, even that starts to fade drastically. That I've gotten even close to like grudgy about, but even that's faded. I can still, like, without raising my blood pressure, say there were many issues there and I wanted no part of any of them.
Right. See, and I'm still at they're a fucking moron.
Well, you're still at let me tell you the story.
Exactly.
Like, we will be there for a while.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
granted, that situation was bad enough. I just want to clarify, like, that situation was so bad, it has had its own dedicated time in therapy.
How interesting.
Because it's been, like, there was so much to sort through with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what messed with me the most, is how, like, totally screwed up that situation is.
Right. But also doesn't make me good in an argument, because I will hand you a fucking dossier.
And that is I will say that in terms of arguments, that is sometimes the part that takes the longest. It's just like, here's the portion of the argument that was required to address the thing he is actually currently angry about. Here is the time that it took to go through everything else. Like, this much time fixed the current problem. And then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Piss me off, fucking jerk. I know that song. I have that song memorized very deeply. All right. So if you are watching on the Facebook, you will want to go over to the YouTube, because we're getting ready to enjoy our funniest segment. And it is called Is Joe the Asshole This Week?
No, it's Am I the Asshole? We're now, typically this is typically from Reddit's Am I the Asshole? So if you're not familiar, it's a great subreddit. It lets you vote and give your opinion on whether or not someone's an asshole. So we found it a really great segment for the show. I, however, ran across a Dear Abby that I think qualifies for an Am I the Asshole?
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to change the title up. The actual title is Dear Abby. My husband's... Oh, frack me. Dear Abby, my husband's family members are my in-laws, not my estranged sisters. So the Am I the Asshole title for me would be, Am I the Asshole for telling my estranged sister my husband's family members are my in-laws, not hers? Dear Abby, my sister has bullied and controlled me most of my life. She has said many very unkind things, and I've reached a place in my life where I need peace and distance from her. Because of this, I've blocked her from texting or calling me. The problem I'm having is that my sister texts and sends pictures and presents to my in-laws. I feel this is inappropriate. She's married and has her own in-laws to grow a relationship with. I feel she does it to stay relevant in my life and also to show my in-laws that she's a nice person. I know she's an adult and can have relationships with whomever she chooses, but it feels to me that she is overstepping boundaries. I can't breathe or have a life outside of her. My husband's family are my in-laws, not hers, are my feelings and reason. Because it sounds like she's about to tell her sister off.
Oh, that's already occurred. But anyhow.
Yeah. Now, Dear Abby, I kind of agree with. So I'm going to say, is everyone shitty here is the best I've got for this one.
Okay.
Now, I do like what Dear Abby said. Your in-laws can have a relationship with anyone they wish. You cannot control who sends them texts, photos, and gifts, particularly if they enjoy them. You may feel your sister has no place in their lives, but unless they agree, you are out of luck. Of course, your feelings are your feelings, and from what you have written about your sister's past treatment of you, you're entitled to them. But to allow her to take up any more space in your head than you already have is counterproductive. Talk with a therapist about this if necessary to help you quit obsessing about her. The problem isn't her, it is how you continue to react to her. That's the Dear Abby response.
Right.
I have to.
Here's the Dear Aeson response. You block them in your phone, then you should block them and fire them from your life. You don't care who they talk to. You shouldn't give a dang who they talk to, who they send presents to, who they visit to, as long as they are not in your presence. When you fire somebody, you don't care that they go work for your competitor. Since the Supreme Court ruled that, non-compete clauses are ineffective and against the Constitution. Stop giving her power and control to influence, because she's going to continue doing this because she knows it bugs you. If that means you don't go to some dinners, then you don't go to some dinners. You go home and you order Chinese or the most decadent damn food you can find that is your favorite, and you eat it up. And you go, nope, not having your dry turkey this year, mother-in-law. Furthermore, let her go. Okay, you're holding on to something that doesn't matter. And yeah, I highly recommend, if you're obsessed about her interactions with other people and that you may look in a bad light, you need therapy.
I think what I have to say is a little different.
Okay.
It's along the same lines.
Right.
Going no contact with someone can very much feel like trying to surgically remove them from your life.
Right.
Spoiler alert for anyone who tries to do this.
Right.
You're never actually going to accomplish it.
Right.
You can do a lot, but you can't literally. It's. I would count it akin to trying to remove cancer.
Right.
Sometimes you get it all.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you don't.
Right.
So you're gonna still encounter people that are connected to them. You're gonna encounter people that think they're very lovely and wonderful,
mm-hmm.
and don't understand why you have so much animosity.
Right.
Or who belittle that experience. So the thing you have to learn about being no contact with someone is some of it is going to be just you're never going to get rid of.
Right.
Little bits of them are always going to pop up. The other thing you have to learn is how to set boundaries with the people that you have contact with, so that they understand that regardless of their thoughts, feelings, and ideas and beliefs about this person,
right,
you don't want this being part of your life.
Right. He freezes again. Give him a minute. But you've got to, also go, not my thing.
Yeah, well, and that's what I was saying was basically the idea of setting the boundary and expectation with the people that you are in contact with. That this is not an appropriate conversation for them to involve themselves in.
Mm-hmm.
And literally set boundaries and expectations of what that looks like if they continue to do it. Right. So at this point, the biggest issue is that you know about it. I assume that's because your in-laws are telling you about it. Right. Which means currently your problem isn't as much your sister, who is free to do whatever she wants, however manipulative or exploitative or whatever it may be, or genuine liking of your in-laws. The problem is that your in-laws aren't respecting your no contact.
Right.
So set them down, try to explain that, and improve your life. But I do agree with Abby. I think you need to talk to a therapist about how you can set reasonable expectations for people that choose to have contact with someone you are no contact with.
Right. Exactly.
And it sucks, especially if you have like a really strong history of pain and manipulation and all these things with someone, to embrace the fact that sometimes those people that are close to you who do that, they do this to everyone. It's just you got the ugly side of it.
Right.
They get this warm, charming, kind, decent, amazing human being. Mm-hmm. And the reality is they don't know the same person.
Right.
Like, you have to split them.
Right.
And go, like, for me, for instance, it's like, there's the father I knew, and then there's the person people know.
Right.
And I have to remember that buffer all the time, because I can feel a rage build up in me when someone starts talking to me about my father.
Right.
And I have to just put that buffer back in and be like, they're talking about someone totally different. Let him go. Let him go. You're not going to change that opinion. That's who he was with them.
Right.
You know who he was to you. And that's all that matters. And you're beyond that.
Very much so. All right, so let's highlight some comments here.
All right.
That's playground stuff. I don't like them, so you can't like them, or they're my friends, so you can't be friends with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really like Leanne's comment here of you can pick your family, but you cannot pick what or who you choose to listen to. And you can flat out tell your in-laws, I no longer discuss this subject.
Yeah. And sometimes it does, like, and it's kind of frightening. Sometimes you do have to choose to remove yourself from other people because they can't respect you any more than the person you're already no contact.
Right.
And that sucks. It really sucks. But you have to make that choice for yourself.
Right.
Yeah. Alrighty.
All right, business questions in chat.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Sorry, guys, we're having to handle situations with the club.
Alrighty. So I sent you responses on that. And so moving on to polyamory. So the poll's up. Oh, yeah, I'm good. All right. So polyamory, where's the ethical part? As someone new to this lifestyle, I'm surprised and disturbed by all the lies. I thought it was supposed to be ethical. Is it just my partner who lies to their spouse and other partners and even friends, or is this normal? Some things are straight lies. Sometimes it's withholding information, but it's got me down. And lately I'm beginning to think there's lying to me as well. There's always an excuse of some kind, not wanting to make someone feel bad or random reason for the lie. And it's almost always been about me, though we aren't a secret. Lately, things feel like they are changing, and I feel like I'm on the other side of the lies. Knowing the lies that have been told to others, how do I trust my partner as being fully honest with me? Oh, I think you have to start that one at separating your polyamorous people from polyamory.
Right.
Polyamory should be ethical. We prefer it to be ethical. I think you're not really dealing with polyamory and ethical non-monogamy. I think you're dealing with a pathological liar who's claiming to be polyamorous, that's fundamentally going through and just using that as a moniker without actually respecting it and being true to it. Like this, it sounds like you're basically in unethical non-monogamy.
Right. And it sounds like that it is very wrong of the partner, not everything else.
Yeah. Polyamory is not really the issue at play here. So to get to your question, knowing the lies that have been told to others, how do I trust my partner? Is being fully honest with me. The problem in your question is you have an untrustworthy partner.
Right.
who's never going to be fully honest with anyone.
Right.
So trying to treat them like they're an honest person in ethical polyamory, ethical non-monogamy, is never going to work. You're just going to keep getting hurt and hurt and hurt until you accept that they are not practicing ethical non-monogamy and polyamory. They are an untrustworthy person.
Right.
It's kind of like, how can I trust this snake to not bite me? And it's like,
right,
kind of a thing snakes do. And you're sort of walking into every scenario in which the snake will bite you.
Right.
So,
right.
The fundamental answer is it's impossible. You can't.
Well, what you do is you step out.
Mm-hmm.
You say, enough. I'm not doing this. I'm moving on.
So, I wish you lots of luck in finding ethical non-monogamy and actual polyamory.
Right, because liars cannot be trusted, leopards don't change their spots, and evil monkeys are still evil monkeys.
Oh, yeah, so Shannon called it. He's just claiming to be polyamorous, but doing just what he wants. And I wonder if OP goes out and is honest, how much of a meltdown will occur?
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Good night, Leanne. Sorry if we missed you. You've probably been gone for a few minutes, but thank you. We appreciate that.
Yes, we hope you enjoyed and come back and see us. Hopefully you'll catch the rest of it in the replay. My advice, leave. Leave. It starts with lying, then it goes to omission. Well, it starts with little omissions. Then it goes to full out lies. And then it goes to full out gaslighting. Like, no, I didn't just go out on a date. I was like, I just saw you kiss him when he dropped you off.
Yeah. I think the omissions are what sometimes cause the glitch in the first place that catches you up to the fact they're already lying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the weirdest thing is I think that people lie and you don't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the lies are little, the lies haven't accumulated, it doesn't really seem out of the ordinary, they have a structured life for lies.
Right.
It becomes the omissions that you catch later that I think start to glitch people to realize, that's not exact.
Right.
And then it builds from there that, like, that's the glitch that causes you to start noticing, like, oh, you lied about that, and that, and that, and that, and all these other things.
Right.
But I always say it's the omissions. The omissions are what catch people in lies. It's
Yeah.
not the actual lie. You know what I mean? Like, when you just lie, that doesn't catch people. It's the omissions that glitch people.
Right.
All right, so.
All right. So, let's go check our poll. Ooh, someone get me some vinegar.
Oh, we're calling it a dill pickle?
Yes, you are a dill pickle this week.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. I really want to get one of those singing pickles because Emily D. Baker has one to cleanse the palate. Okay. We need one for when you're a dill pickle.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that would be fun. That'd be fun.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. It's been a really fun show. I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. We haven't done one of these in a while. I've seen other people do them here recently, and I'm like, our baristas ask these questions all the time. We already know the answers. Let's share it with everyone else. All right. So here's the download. Baristas got a video today. YouTube drops it tomorrow. If you want to see it early, see what I thought about a lovely box that appeared up here, you need to go and join the Patreon. Of course, you always get extra content, fresh content, new content.
And you can do that for as little as $1 a month, $12 a year. Yeah.
And then, Mondays drops the on Medium drops my latest psychic industry news article. The baristas will get that Sunday. So if you're even just in the business, you can go get the skinny before everyone else does.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Very cool. Very cool. All the good things.
Yes. All right, guys. So with that, we do want to take a moment to thank those people that make this work.
Here, I'll go ahead and hit it if you want.
Thank you.
All right. So, of course, we want to thank Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda, Joan Owen, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Charles Shaw, Tracy Van, Caitlin Bell, and Devin. If you'd like to learn more about us, the show, or how you too can become a Patreon sponsor and receive all the wonderful benefits our baristas receive, please visit us at pcspnetwork.com.
All right. So with that, guys, you have a great evening. We will be back on Sunday with Psychic That Plans, and you get to see us strategize and minimize my schedule for next week as we attempt to blow up some algorithms. Until then, bye, y'all.
Bye.